Had Kyle been 1 second later, I would have totally died. Kyle later told me that as I was falling, he thought, I can't enter the family like this. Hey guys, I'm so excited to finally marry Brittany and be part of the family. I love you guys so much. So anyway, I killed Bryson. Haha, nice. Brody, stop. This next story is the real reason I made this video, because it was the most dangerous. You could argue that I would have survived the other two stories. That cabinet would only have broken a few bones. Or, you could survive falling 12 feet directly onto your head. Maybe. But this next story is the real deal. I would 100% have died. Cool. Brody! Stop. Mom and Dad weren't home and it was raining outside. My brother Braden must have been bored, so he told me to come with him across the street because... Okay. Anyway, we crossed the street in the rain when all of a sudden, lightning struck nearby. The sound shattered the air and shook me to the core. I was only like 5, so this really scared me. I started crying and running back to the house. I ran to the middle of the road when suddenly my foot planted to the ground and I froze where I was. Right then, a car sped right in front of me. I was shocked, but I unfroze and ran into the safety of the house. I watched through a window as a very scared Braden walked back to the house. He had watched me almost die after all. Just then, the car that almost hit me pulled in front of him, and the lady driving the car scolded Braden and yelled at him for my mistake, which was super rude because 1, it wasn't Braden's fault, and 2, that lady was the one going way over the speed limit in a neighborhood. Braden came back to the house, and things started to calm down, but I started to think about what had just happened. Then the thought occurred. Why had I stopped? I was running to the house, and I hadn't seen the car, and I had no intention of stopping. It felt like I had been stopped, and I stayed there for a solid second, and had I continued running in that second, the car would have totally hit me. So the question remains, was I stopped by some guardian angel, or was it just luck? I don't know, but whatever it was, I'm glad I'm not dead. Yet. Several Brysons were almost harmed in the making of this video. Please subscribe so he doesn't die from taxes. And also follow his Twitter and his Instagram and buy his merch and... Guys! February 20th was the channel's 3-year anniversary. Also, my 19 years of life anniversary is coming up on March 12th. I hope you guys like this story. I'm gonna be trying to post monthly from now on, so we'll see how that goes. Quality over quantity, baby. I guess this story is kind of a cliffhanger, cause you never know when I could die. Will Bryson survive to live another day, or will the underworld finally catch him in their evil clutches? Find out next month on Haminations. By the way, studies show that you're less likely to die if you subscribe. Okay, bye.
Hi, welcome to Bryson's cooking show. Today we are cooking cereal. First add cereal, then... But Bryson, what if I like pouring the milk first? As I was saying, first add cereal, then milk, and voila, we've got cereal. What? Wait, no.
The gates of hell open wide to receive thy soul. Now submit thyself to unending torment.
No, please, I'm a good boy. Oh no. Bo, please save me. Hi, I'm Bryson, and I once started a grease fire in my house. And believe it or not, this is not the first fire that the Haminations family has endured. Let me start at the beginning. Now, almost all these stories revolve around one sibling, the pyromaniac of the family, my oldest brother, Brody. Now, before I decimate my brother's reputation, slander his name permanently, and ensure that he's never allowed within 500 feet of a lighter ever again, let me just preface with this. I love you, Brody. Our journey begins when Brody was 3 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. Except I wasn't even born yet. My family was visiting our grandparents and uncles, and my Uncle Mark decided to have some bonding time with Brody. It remains a mystery to this day what Uncle Mark was thinking, but he decided to teach Brody how to use a lighter and how to lock doors. Two essential skills for any 3-year-old, obviously. In one fell swoop, this knowledge transformed Brody from a harmless toddler to a dangerous fire hazard capable of burning the house down. Brody put his knowledge to use immediately. He locked himself in Grandma's room, hid under the bed, and started melting the wax under there. The bottom of the bed began to burn, and the wax started melting down onto the carpet. The family smelled the smoke and ran around the house looking for Brody.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
But the door was locked. When they finally got in, they saw Brody with a lighter in hand, standing next to a burning bed. They put the fire out quickly as Brody watched. Even though I wasn't there, I can imagine Brody grinning to himself, because born inside him at that moment was a flame that would never go out. This was the beginning of a lifetime of pyromania. My parents were rightfully mad at Uncle Mark, and years later they got back at him. Uncle Mark's son was very young, and my parents were visiting. Hey, little guy, come here. I'm gonna teach you how to use a lighter.
No! No! No!
Skip it up and down.
Does your family have a pyromaniac, or are you normal?
My main goal is to blow up.
The next incident happened 1 year later. Brody was 4, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Except I was still not born yet. Mom was outside the house talking to a friend, and Brody was inside unattended. He decided that he wanted a hot dog. He had seen our parents use the microwave before and thought, oh, I just need to put it in the microwave, hit a couple buttons, and hit start. So that's exactly what he did. But he unknowingly set it to over an hour. A while later, Mom's friend noticed smoke coming out of the windows in the house. Mom ran inside in a panic and found Brody with his hot dog. I tried to make a hot dog, but all I got was a piece of poop. The hot dog was reduced to a flaming carbon crisp, burnt to the very core. And that's how my family house almost got burnt down by a hot dog. Then the next year, when Brody was 5, he got glasses. This time I remember it clearly. Except I still hadn't been born yet. Once again, he was left unattended in the kitchen. Brody found a lighter, sat on the counter, and began lighting it over and over. You know, for entertainment. Then he thought, I wonder if my glasses are fireproof. He slowly began to raise the lighter closer and closer to his face, and the lens cracked. Mom? What? What was that noise? He slowly began to raise the lighter closer and closer to his face, and the lens cracked. Mom? What? What was that noise? Did you break your glasses? Yes. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, or fireberg. Brody, in his teenage and adult life, has regularly set paper towels on fire on the counter, started fires outside for no reason, and put tinfoil in the microwave. I'm not even joking. Hey, Brody, what are you cooking? And when Brody was 6, he had to be held on a leash whenever he would go out. Yeah, he was one of those kids. However, even the leash could not contain his chaotic nature, because somehow, in one day, Brody set off a car alarm, an elevator alarm, and an airport alarm. If you haven't figured it out yet, let me just spell it out for you. Brody was a menace to society. He's still a menace, but his wife keeps him in check. Most of the time. Now, all these stories were about Brody, but this isn't Brody's channel. Now it's time to talk about how I started a fire. But at least it was an accident, unlike Brody, who set stuff on fire on purpose. Also, all Brody's stories happened when I was just an unborn soul vibing in the quantum abyss. I kinda miss it. Anyway, on to my grease fire story. At this point, I had finally been born, and I was about to start a family recipe with my roommate Dallin. The chicken was defrosting and it was almost ready, so I put some oil in a pot and set the stove on low to heat up and be ready for the chicken. At least I thought I did, but I accidentally put the heat on maximum overdrive. Then I got distracted talking to Dallin and forgot all about the chicken.
Yes.
After a while, the room suddenly started filling with smoke. I wonder what that could be. We looked and saw a plume of smoke coming from the pot. As I ran over to try and fix my horrible mistake, the smoke caught fire and blazed forth an eerie orange glow. I saw into hell in that moment, and the face of Satan stared back at me. Then, for an excruciating couple seconds, I sat there frozen, wondering what to do. Have you heard the term fight or flight? Well, there's actually a third option, freeze. And my brain chose freeze. Dallin saw that I was paralyzed and quickly jumped into action. He grabbed a bowl and carefully covered the pot and extinguished the flame. I was so embarrassed that my big, strong roommate had to save me. I very gingerly helped get rid of the smoke by opening the windows. I cooled and cleaned the pot and very carefully finished the recipe.
So good and tasty?
I also apologized profusely to Dallin, who insisted that it wasn't a big deal. I honestly can't properly explain how embarrassed and ashamed I was. I was just trying to be an adult and make a meal, and I almost burned my house down. But I learned a valuable lesson. The lesson is, have a roommate who's not afraid of fire. I will be more careful in the future, and hopefully next time I won't freeze. To end things off, I want to encourage you all to be careful and cautious when cooking, because you could literally die. Also, stay away from Brody or he will burn down your house. Fortunately, fire won't be an issue for me, because since my fire incident, I have mastered waterbending. And I've mastered firebending. Don't do this, Brody. Don't challenge me. It won't end well. I'm sparing you, brother. I'm letting you go in the name of our past friendship. But I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your permanent end. Whatever, this game sucks anyway. You're just mad 'cause you lost. Maybe, but at least my house isn't on fire. Hi, thanks for watching. Wasn't that fight scene amazing? My team did a fantastic job animating it. Thanks to Rushlight Invader and Aroa for